Stadium, as we'll see a squad from the SEC, the Kentucky Wildcats, taking on one of the participants from last year's playoff, the Alabama Crimson Tide. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. Alabama about to kick off to get things started. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. The coverage team maintains his discipline, not much doing on that return. So Kentucky's offense will go on the attack first. And they're going to be met by one of the best defenses in the nation, David. And I know seeing a defense doing what they want, when they want to do it, makes you a happy man.
Well, defense is starting to make a comeback. Like, I'm excited about this new era of football. We're seeing better tackling, and we're seeing better coverage than we were a couple years ago. And this defense is fun to watch them on tape, fun to talk to their coaches. Jesse, this defense has been consistent all year long.
And they're dialed in, and they're so talented. They've got multiple NFL draft picks on that side of the football, and they don't have to change a lot week to week. This defense dominates. They do what they do, and they don't care if you know it. You can't do anything against them.
The Wildcats will hustle to the line.
The offense has a little bit of success on the ground, and they're up. Look at them. They're ready to go again. Back on the line of scrimmage, ready to run another play.
Got the first down and more. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. You can barely hear yourself thinking here as they're trying to get this defense off to a good start. A little release to the back. Breaks into the open. Down to the 26-yard line before they ride him out of bounds, and this defense is on its heels.
And that's a good lesson for quarterbacks out there. When you're throwing to your running backs, if you get it to them early and they've got some space around them, they can do damage. And that's exactly what happened there. These guys are trained to be great once they have the ball in their hands. He makes people miss. He shows you the speed. And it's a big chunk play in the pass game.
Quarterback on the keeper. They recover their own fumble. How in the world did the offense avoid that disaster? The Tide crowd rolling noise down on the Saban field on third down. They'll try to bully their way for the first. They were all over him, nowhere to go as that third down play turned into a disaster.
Doing on that last run, and they knew coming into this one they were going to be challenged, right? This is one of the best defenses in all of college football. For them to have any shot, they're going to have to do a lot better running the football.
On fourth down, they'll pass for it. Intercepted, and the first drive ends with a pick. Got room on the return. The 40. He's at the 30. He's at the 10.
Could not have gone any worse. You're thinking fourth down, go for it. Well, even if you don't get it, you turn the ball back to their offense. Not that. You throw a pick, and they turn it back all the way for a touchdown and get points. That is a disaster for this offense.
Getting set for the extra point after putting the scoreboard to work for the first time. And the extra point is good, and it's 7-0. They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. inside the 10. Here he comes. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. Kentucky has it back, and the Big Blue offense takes the field. Finding themselves down 7-0, they'd love to get a drive going here. Runs ahead and powers his way from 4 yards out to the 30. The Wildcats come to the line in the hurry-up.
Defense came into this one knowing they were going to see some tempo. They've got to get the call from the sidelines, get it communicated, get lined up.
Tackled in the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 on the heels of gaining 4 on the previous play. Here comes his home crowd as the defense tries to get off the field on 3rd down. Blasted as he lets it go. Intercepted. A first-half turnover can swing momentum. Not able to get loose on the return, but what a play to put his team in business at the 33. From the gun, the running back tries to hit the hole. We'll give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
Alabama with a lot of ground to cover here on 3rd and long. Motion from the back. Back to throw, it's Flowers. Makes the grab on the left. Touchdown, Bama! Made the grab and took it on into the score.
This offense is so good. Man, they can hurt you in so many different ways, and they do it so quick, so explosive. They can put small drives together, big drives together. They've really had a great year, and that's why they're a top 10 offense.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Kentucky sends the offense back out onto the field. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play. Or
there he goes. Smashes him with the stiff arm.
This is one way you can try to attack the perimeter of the field, right? Get the option play going. Quarterback has it, reads his key, pitches it out to his running back to see what he can go do in space.
They'll try to get it in with the run. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Back to pass on 2nd down. Those two failed to make the connection. It's an incomplete pass.
nice execution by this defense on 2nd and goal. And they try to throw the football. They stay tight on them. If I'm this offense, maybe I run some crossers, a little pick route, try to get my guy open.
Turning to the running game here on 3rd and goal. They rode their running back, but he could not make it. It'll be 4th down.
Decision time right here. I like going for it. You're playing on the road. You have an opportunity to take the crowd out of it a little bit here. Why not just line up quickly and just try to run the ball?
Yeah, stay aggressive. I mean, you want to shut these people up. You want to quiet.
And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Kentucky.
And I love it. This offense making no bones about it. We're going to be aggressive. We get the ball down in the red zone, 4th and goal, Palmer. Stay aggressive. They run the football, and they get the touchdown.
And that's the shocking thing, David, is that on 4th down, they have supreme confidence in this offensive line to win up front, one-on-one, get some push, and then how about the ball carrier just finding his way into the end zone?
Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Here comes that Alabama offense. The early scripts have worked trying to add to this 14-7 lead. Bringing the heat. And not much going on downfield. You just get rid of it and live to play another down.
like the job by the defense there in coverage. They took every option away from the quarterback. He was outside of the pocket, nowhere to go with it, so they forced the incompletion throwaway.
And wings it incomplete. The Crimson Tide looking for a big play to convert on third down. The offense changing the play. Looking to pass. It's Flowers. Another incompletion on third down. And here comes the punt team. The punter going to get his first work of the afternoon. A little pressure on the coverage team there, and they'll stop him at the 47-yard line. Good field position to start this drive at their own 47. Here comes the option. Can't get him to the ground.
Nice job by this defense playing assignment football. Somebody has to have the quarterback. Somebody has to have the pitch. And most importantly, when you get there, you got to get him on the ground. Nice job tackling by this defense.
Grabbed in the backfield. It's Wicks. And the Wildcats want to move quickly. On third and long, try to convert through the air. Can't find a man, and he'll be knocked down at the 40. Punt team makes its way onto the field. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. Gets the first one of the day off, and hoping he's not as busy as he was in that loss last week when he kicked it 4 times. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. They didn't get much done the last time they had it. Had to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. Starts a drive trying to go up top. Makes the catch. He'll get it up to about the 32-yard line before he's stopped, and it'll be first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Motion from the wide receiver. Touch pass on the jet sweep. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Well, I love the aggressive nature of the defense on that play. Everybody playing with eye discipline. They saw the pre-snap motion. They knew who had the football. And you saw guys play with excellent instinct, running downhill and making a tackle.
Dropping back, it's Flowers. Finds his man. It's Callaway. Really nice pickup there as they have it out to the 44 with the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Making side adjustments here. Looking to throw on first down. Fires to the wideout. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. He goes down right there, but not before coming up with a big interception. And another interception for the Crimson Tide. And Bama has a few ball hawks in this secondary. You might be putting old Hootie Ingram in the sights for bringing it back. Got the first down and more. Out across the 45 and out of bounds at the 46-yard line. A big pickup here as they try to put together a scoring drive. So Alabama takes the lead into the quarter break. And after that first quarter, let's see if these guys can get back in the game in the second. So they'll go back to work after changing into the field. Right back to the well. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. Get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9.
A nice job being gap sound by this defense. And here you go.
Can't find a man, and he'll be knocked down at the 40.
You're not going to win a lot of games if you can't protect your quarterback. In their last game, they got sacked 4 times, lost the game. And so far in this one, they're having difficulty again. These guys up front have got to do a better job communicating.
He's going to throw deep right side. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers. Kentucky will be forced to punt. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. about the 25 before they put a stop to the return. Guys, here comes that Alabama offense onto the field. Last drive ended with a pick, but you still have to attack through the air. They'll toss it to the left. Turning it on! The defense got caught that time, and they finally get him on the ground at the 41.
Defensively, you'll take the slow death. You'll take 3, 4, 5 yards a pop, but you can't give up the massive plays. You got to do a better job containing the football, making them run the guys, and get him on the ground. For goodness sakes, this guy is fast, I know, but defensively, we got to swarm to the football and get him on the ground.
It's a seam wide open. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down. Alabama trying to cash in on this red zone trip. They're threatening to score, and they'll throw it. A little too much on that one, just out of his reach.
This really has been a Jekyll and Hyde story for this quarterback. His last game out, he completed over 80% of his throws, but things just not going his way in this one. You've got to give the defense a ton.
And they'll take this into the end zone, but hang on just a second. Flag down. Let's see what this is about. So that penalty will wipe away some strong red zone execution and take the score off the board. Here comes the offense on second down. Looking for a man. It's Flowers. Throws to the wideout. He snares it in the end zone. Touchdown time.
You know, oftentimes in college football, the best offenses are the ones that can create explosive plays, just like you saw right there. They're top 10 in the nation in points per game because they don't have to drive the field. They've got dudes scattered all over this offense that can take it the distance on any given play.
On the run from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Kentucky has it back, and the big blue offense takes the field. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point of the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid.
And the defense makes a play, sacking him back at the 10. This offensive line has just been unable to keep them away from the quarterback. Now it's second and long.
But for this defense, finally, you're seeing pressure on the quarterback. They're outside the top 50.
Pulls it in down the middle. Hits the accelerator to the right. Past the 30. He's at the 10. He was working his way. Goal line, they'll stop him at the 2 after the big play up top. So that's not exactly optimal as far as the defense starting a stand, giving up an 80 spot, now dealing with a first and goal. They finally get a hold of him, knocking him down behind the line of scrimmage. He had been running wild. Can the defense stop them again on second and goal? They'll move the wide receiver. Quick pass on the fly motion. Give him 6. Touchdown, Wildcats. And with the extra point, they're down a touchdown, 21-14. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And they finish it up with a 3-yard scoring toss. From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. And he's able to pick his way through the traffic nicely for a good return on that one before he's brought down. Here comes that Alabama offense. The way this game started, you feel as if you have to score a touchdown every time you have it, and now we'll see if they can respond.
Yeah, and I wonder how much pressure that puts on the offense. Jesse, like, you know this is back and forth, and I got to score, and every possession matters so much. What does that do to you as a quarterback?
Well, it puts a lot more pressure on you for sure to feel like I got to make every third down throw. If guys are open vertically down the field, I got to hit them too. We can't let our serve get broken.
He put it out there for him, and the senior gave him a chance, but they couldn't make the connection.
Can't rest on your laurels as a quarterback. We know how much success he had last game when he completed over 70% of his throws. This game, though, he's just a little bit off. At times he looks like he's pressing. He hasn't been overly accurate.
He's got it up to 20. Perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle at the 17. Alabama with a 1st and 10 here. From the red zone, he's going to throw it. Quarterback floating away from pressure. He can't find anybody. It'll be incomplete as the defense does a really good job in coverage. Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. Now the play fake. He's got it on the run. Down to the 3-yard line, and that's where they'll have it 1st and goal. Alabama quickly back to the line. He might want another play. They're going to run it. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. Now we'll hang on here. The coach has called a timeout. He wants the officials to take another look. Thinks he's got a good shot at getting this one overturned. And how about the keen eyes and sharp awareness from the coach to challenge that call, and the officials agree it'll go his way. Looking for just one more yard. It's 2nd and goal. Back to throw, it's Flowers. Touchdown, Alabama! Fired in from the red zone for the score.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. And David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not, so being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get it. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play, just like he did right there for 6 points.
They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. The give to the tailback. And how about that play by that giant, that mountain of a man on the defensive front?
And man, it's nice to have a guy that is just better than your guys. And no matter what play you call, man, how about him getting in the backfield quick, penetrating, using his quickness, and using his strength to get him to the ground? That is a baller.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. From the gun, give on the inside. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the 1st down line? They're at their fastest tempo trying to get on this 3rd down play. High coverage and an incomplete pass. The defense knocks it away and forces a 4th down. Kentucky sends out the punting unit. And the returner is stopped. Tide offense rolls onto the field. Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. Trying to hit the sideline on the right. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it. Boy, it was like the defender heard the play call. He was ready for that one.
And one of the things is diagnose and go get it. They saw it and they went and got it. They were not letting that ball go to the wide side of the field.
Lost 5 on that first play, and now it's 2nd and 15. Zings it complete to the right. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a 1st down. They've got some work to do on this 3rd and long from the 40. Back to throw, it's Flowers. Working that left side now. And boy, is he close to that 1st down, maybe just a couple of inches short.
One of the things I love about this defense is they just have such great awareness, and they're always communicating. They understood the down and distance. They knew exactly what they needed to do to make the tackle to force the punt. That is so well done.
He'll pull it down and run. Nice run there. Picks up a few, and they'll force him out of bounds.
QB's got to be able to play on so many different levels. They got to read coverages, know the snap count, know what everybody's doing, and then does a great job at the end making something out of nothing, making a positive play, picking up a new set of downs, a new set of problems for this defense.
Man, that's one you expect him to make in his sleep, right? He's one of the better receivers in the entire country. He just dropped that one over the middle of the field.
That's caught. It's Algier. He'll go out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Big pickup there, and this offense is feeling it. Now from the 36-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Sends it back in motion. Looking to throw on 1st down. Here he goes, breaking the pocket. Fires to the big fella. Just making a play, getting it to the 23-yard line. It'll be 1st down. Alabama pushing the tempo. Wants to go up top on 1st down. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete. What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go?
This QB has had a lot of success all day long, throwing for so many touchdowns, looking very comfortable. Finally, the defense gets to him. Finally, the defense gets a win. They needed something to go their way. Got to start getting some more hits on this guy.
The Crimson Tide needs to convert on 3rd and short. Looking for a man. It's Flowers. It's complete to the left. The offense calls a timeout to stop the clock. 3rd down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
No, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide and I know I trust you, I'm finding you.
He just threw it away. The last thing you want to do is try to force something on 1st down in the red zone. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Wrestled down at the 8-yard line as they threaten deep in the red zone. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. Scrambling away. Lets it go to the end zone. Sweet throw and... along the sideline, it's enough for the 1st down. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls where you know exactly when that guy's going to break. You know he's a stud. You're going to feed him, especially on these 3rd down situations.
Touchdown, Bama! They punctuate the chance with a trip to the end zone. The mantra is always finish, and they're trying to do that here in the regular season with this Week 12 performance. Getting set for the point after. The kick is up and good, and put one more on the lead. That is what they mean when they say ball control, a 14-play touchdown drive. And he takes this from inside the 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. So the offense has had enough. They'll take a knee and wrap up this 1st half. That's the end of the 2nd quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update.
Fellas, you've been calling a great one today from there in Tuscaloosa.
Stadium buzzing, kickoff team on the field, and we are ready to get this thing started. He'll start the return inside his 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Guys, here comes that Alabama offense onto the field. Not sure they had to adjust much as they'll try to build on this lead. Makes the grab. Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line. They created a lot of breathing room with that first play of the drive. Now 1st down from the 39. Oh, he's got some space. He puts him in business across the 50 into the 46-yard line. It'll be first down.
In halftime in this locker room, there was a lot of positive things to talk about. You got the lead, but you know what else will be positive, Palmer? Get the running game going early in this second half.
You're absolutely right here, and I think this coaching staff is going to try to put this game on the offensive line a little bit. Let these guys take this thing over, be physical, and push this defense around.
The Crimson Tide comes to the line with the 1st and 10. Dropping back, it's Flowers. Finds us back in the middle. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. This offense had so much success in that first half, so in the third quarter, they come out, and the quarterback looks like he's still dealing. This has been a really nice drive. That was a really nice throw. Just keep doing what you're doing if you're on offense.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. He's got it and still on his feet. They've got it down to the 3-yard line. Really well done on that throw and catch. Wants to throw again. Touchdown time. Fit it in the window for the score. He has been surgical. Precision passes. Using the scalpel, the fine instrument, rather than the blunt one.
The defense has had absolutely no answer for him. Just, he's been down their throats all game long, a step ahead, understanding what he's seeing, and just destroying this defense.
He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Kentucky sends the offense back out onto the field. They try to pop a run on the draw. Tried to move that pile forward. He maybe gets 2. He's down at the 21. Got 3 on 1st down at 2nd and 7. Looking to fire. Finds his tight end. Changing on the move. It'll be a 1st down at the 29.
How about that? Just really nice catch by the big tight end, throwing those mitts up there, catching the football.
They'll send the tight end in motion. He'll do it himself. He has the 1st and still on his feet. And he picks up the 1st down, but he will remember the price he paid after that hit. They'll line up right at the 48-yard line on 1st and 10. Looking downfield on 1st down. The safe call on the wide receiver screen. And this one will be stopped for no gain. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Back to pass. Caught over the middle. It's man. And a big-time grab there. Knocked down immediately, but not before he gets it to the 40. New set of downs after the completion. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Wants to throw on 1st down. With the catch, it's Ivy. Stopped just inside the 30 at the 29. It's a 10-yard pickup and a 1st down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. They'll try the run. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
If you're going to stop the run game, you better be physical up front on the defensive line. They've got some maulers. They've got some dudes with bad intentions. Nice play there.
Wants to fire on 2nd down. The short hands, it's man. They're able to get him stopped just shy of the 1st down marker.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm.
Alert, alert, right? Quarterback under center. You're thinking quarterback sneak on short yardage. Defensive lineman, great job. You got to get that penetration. You just can't let him go straight downhill. Make that thing bow. And I always love how you see guys diving up.
Big tight end makes the grab. 1st down, still on his feet. Touchdown, Kentucky! A great catch and run for 6. Got a to start cutting into this lead somewhere. Now the question, will they have enough time?
But that's step one. You got to get that first score. You got to get back in the ball game and get some of that momentum back on your side. You still got more work to do, but step one accomplished.
On the move from inside his 5. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. Here comes that Alabama offense. They still have the lead, but a productive drive here would keep it a comfortable lead. 3 tight ends in the formation on 1st and 10. They'll leave it with him. Past the first down marker and still running. He'll step out of bounds right at the 44. A big-time pickup on that one.
Well, that's why this running game can be so dynamic. This guy is special when he has the football in his hands. He can make people miss, he can run with power, and he also has speed. You saw it on that last play.
The toss to the right. This time he doesn't get loose, and finally the defense gets him bottled up behind the line.
Yeah, and listen, the offense has had their way, and they've had so much success and so much production. But listen, at least the defense got a rep. You know, maybe this gets you a spark. Maybe this gets you some energy. Maybe we'll see a little bit more life from this defense.
Yeah, they may not win the game, but I think this defensive coaching staff at this point, based on how this game has gone, they're just trying to find things to build off of. Maybe that's something they can point to as they get ready for their next opponent, of things they did right and things that they got to do more consistently moving forward.
Alabama comes to the line on 3rd and short. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. Putting together a real scoring threat here as they pick up the first down at the 36. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. The pull and throw off the RPO. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. And they add 6 more on the board with that trip to the house.
Well, this guy certainly, from a statistical standpoint, has done everything to deserve a trip to New York City. He has been a big playmaker week in, week out for this offense. Get this, that last touchdown was his 20th touchdown catch of the season. This guy has been unstoppable.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. This drive opens up at the 23-yard line. Power football with the run. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Wants to go up top. He'll throw it. Got it in the middle. It's man. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36. They went up top to pick up the last 1st down. Let's see what they have here. To the air on 1st down. Rush coming in high, and they got him at the 29. He spent his whole career in the backfield, now 40 career sacks.
That is absolutely insane. A guy that can get to the quarterback that much. You know where he's at, Palmer. He's on the end of the line of scrimmage most of the time. You're pointing to him. There's the guy we got to make sure that doesn't make the play, and he gets to the quarterback time and time again.
There are very few players, I think, in college football, David, that you need to know where they line up each and every play because they're going to disrupt everything. This guy...
And the heat was all over him, and that's the way the 3rd quarter will wrap up with a big sack. We've reached a break, and Alabama has the lead. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. I guess if you're an optimist, the stage is set for a massive 4th quarter comeback. To do a better job of protection this time after that 3rd down sack set him back, but they'll go for it here. On 4th down, he'll try to toss it. Fires one high and deep. Can't complete the long throw, and the defense gets off the field on 4th down. Great place to start for this offense. The toss sweep to the right. Creates a little space. Got it into the red zone, dragged down at the 18-yard line. The Crimson Tide can dig into that playbook here on 2nd and short. To the air, it's Flowers. They get him out of bounds right at the 5-yard line, and that one might have saved a touchdown.
And that's a big reason why this offense is so dangerous. If they get the lead, because of this guy's scrambling ability, they can just close the door, put that foot on your throat, and not take it off. Nobody was open that time. It looked like he was going to get sacked, and he just very nonchalantly was able to buy himself some time, gets outside, uses his speed, picks up the first down. The offense stays on the field. They've already got the lead, and now they're just bleeding this clock away.
2nd down, they'll go to the air. Looking to get it in. He's down at the 1, and they almost had the touchdown pass on that one. Might be calling a hot route. Looking to throw on 3rd and goal. Touchdown, Alabama! Quick strike through the air for the score. That's what finishing the deal looks like. Build the lead in the 4th quarter and close in on 11 straight victories.
And it hasn't mattered what they've called guys offensively all game long or who's been on the field, what personnel groupings there have been. They're simply executing at a higher level than this defense, and they're keeping their foot on the pedal here in the 4th quarter.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. And they'll haul down the returner to start us on the next drive. Kentucky has it back, and the Big Blue offense takes the field. That 4th down gamble didn't pay off on the last drive, and it led to giving up a scoring drive, David.
Yeah, and everybody wants to go for it on 4th down. Everybody wants that, but your defense sometimes has to bail out your decision-making. We decided to go for it. We didn't get it. And the defense, Jesse, didn't come up big and prove me wrong.
And he will be sacked at the 6-yard line.
And I bet the frustration meter for this offense is so high. If you can't keep your quarterback upright, it's hard to move the ball. It's hard to score points. This offensive line has not protected him at all, and that's why so many sacks.
He hurls one deep down the left side. And trying to put points on the board on 3rd down. Now they're staring at 4th down. Kentucky will be forced to punt. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. Not able to pop the big return, but they've got the ball back and ready to go with a fresh possession. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute, David.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
Hit hard as he released the ball on that 1st down pass, and it never had a chance. Looking to throw, it's Flowers. Snagged out of the air. Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a 1st down. Passing game kept this drive moving. Let's see if they try it again.
And he's been the go-to guy all year long. Like, he's in the top 5 in all of college football in receiving yards for a reason. They're going to find him because he's always open, making plays. This dude has been unbelievable. He's being mentioned in the Heisman conversation. That is really hard to do as a wide receiver. So that shows you what kind of special year this young man's having.
Caught behind the line. It's Algier. He stopped just a chain link or 2 away from the 1st down and sets them up beautifully here. 2nd down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Quarterback making adjustments. Trying play action. Touchdown, Bama! Quick strike through the air for the score. You can see it on the sideline. They built a comfortable 4th quarter lead, and they know they're going to go 11-0.
Pure domination all game long for this offense. Whether they've been running the football, whether they've been throwing the football, critical down and distances, situationally all up and down the field. This defense has had no answer for these guys. What an impressive performance by the Oak.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And he made that extra point, the wet turf, no problem at all. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Fellas, a big-time top 15 duel. Let's get right to it. Tennessee is currently trailing in this one, but it feels like the momentum may be turning. These Vols have picked themselves up off the canvas before, and they are capable of it again today. They're trailing by just 4 to Ole Miss. Games like these just mean more in the SEC, and we'll circle back if anything big happens you should see.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Pressure coming. And the heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45.
And this offense has struggled all day. And how about the protection up front? You got to protect your quarterback. You got to keep him upright. In his second sack of the day. Nice. A lot more passing situations coming with this team down big.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. And the pressure is coming in, and they get him again. Kentucky sends out the punting unit. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. He'll field the punt. That nifty return sets up the offense and negates some of the yardage on the punt. Guys, here comes that Alabama offense onto the field. Looking downfield, it's Flowers. They're working that left side. Gets it out across the 40. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 42 as this offense trying to put together a good drive. Alabama with a multitude of options on 2nd and short. Wide receiver going in motion. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. Grabbed over the middle. It's Callaway. They'll get the 1st down. It's spotted on the 49.
They're running the curl route against zone coverage. The quarterback knows that's going to be a tight window. He's got to rifle that ball into his wide receiver. He does just that, and as a result, they pick up the 1st down.
Looking to throw on 1st down. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be 2nd down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. They'll keep it on the ground. They want this clock to move. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Alabama with a lot of ground to cover here on 3rd and long. The officials stop the clock for the 2-minute timeout, and the offense is that much closer to victory. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down. They'll leave the offense out there to try to get it past the marker and pick up the 1st. On 4th down, looking to pass. Got his man. He didn't make it. They'll have to give up the football, and hope is still alive.
Loss of 4. Result of the play is a turnover on downs.
They go to the ground. Creates a little room. Breaks into the open. That's about as close as you can get to that marker, and it will be 2nd and just a few breaths away from the 1st down. And the Wildcats come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. 3rd and short from the 49. Is this 4-down territory? He lofts it high and deep down the left side. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. Kentucky will be forced to punt. Catches it at the 15. He couldn't find much running room there. Didn't get a lot of blocking, and he'll step out of bounds. Here comes that Alabama offense. Firmly in control of this game. We'll see if they just try to run out the clock and get out with a victory.
Everybody on offense here should feel really good about their performance today too, David. They had a really good game plan coming into this one, and they went out and they executed at a very high level.
Yeah, lights out, and this game's over. I'm interested to see the philosophy now. Do we keep chucking the pill and keep trying to score points? Because it's the defense's responsibility to stop them. Or do they just run this clock and say, all right, we did enough today. We kicked them in the face.
Grabbed in the middle. It's Callaway. And they'll pick up the 1st down and mark it at the 47.
Well, the offense able to pick up some extra yards after that curl throw there. And because the QB got it to his guy early, he was able to turn around, make a guy miss, and go pick up some yak.
Unloads to the wideout. And it's incomplete, deflected, knocked away by the D.
And how about this offense? They're not worried about the clock. They're not worried about the score. They're not worried about early and down. Still trying to execute their offense. Still trying to make big plays. And they've had a great day so far.
This time on target. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Motion from the wideout. Dropping back, it's Flowers. He's got the tight end. Offense takes a timeout, 27 seconds left.
And there's no mercy rule in college football. They've got a huge lead here in the fourth quarter, and they're still staying aggressive. They're still throwing the football, going out and executing, working on their craft. They've got bigger fish coming up down the road, bigger games.
And we have breaking news. They score yet another touchdown.
Man, you knew this one was over already, but how about an exclamation point to go with it? Another score for this offense. They've had themselves a great day, and the stats just continue to pile up.
On the run from inside his own 5. And the coverage team gets the returner on the ground. Kentucky sends the offense back out onto the field. This has been a really disappointing performance, David, no question about that, but they can find some positives.
Yeah.
And he will be sacked at the 6-yard line. Defense uses a timeout. The clock stops with 17 seconds left. The Wildcats now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. They'll go to work in the air on second down. There he goes. Bust through behind his pad. He's got enough for the first down. They'll spot it at the 37. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. When you know you have a team outclassed, the ability to play to that standard and finish with a blowout like this is really impressive.